Do you love old cars and trucks? Join us on Bring 'em Back to Life, where we search the salvage yards and backyards of America to find that gold mine of a parts car or that restorable gem in the rough. Come with us down memory lane as we elevate the status of our salvage yards to outdoor museums of automotive history.
Here is my 1956 Chevrolet convertible. The damage on the car was from the rear of the front tire to the front of the rear tire only.
I'm actually using my floor jack, and I'm going to push the old floor up. That way we can see what's rotted and what's holding. Alright, we're going to make a couple more cuts and cut a section out so we can see where we're at. You guys can see at home, now we've exposed our frame. Yeah, we exposed a 1956 brake line. It appears to be an original gas line, folks.
And they're both on the outside of the frame because this is a powerpack car with dual exhaust. So when they put the dual exhaust in, the gas and brake line was on the outside of the frame versus the inside.
Which makes this, folks, a very, very special car.
Okay.
Because
And you've got a couple of antique trucks out in front.
Yes.
What's that, a 46?
46. That's a 46 Ford. I had a gentleman come by and offer me offer to buy it. He's going to make lawn art out of it.
Oh.
He had intentions of taking it, boxing in the bed, sitting it in his yard, and putting a flower bed in the back. So my intentions were to take it and use the cab as a body for, as a cab and a body for a rollback. Make a.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can take one of these rollbacks that I have and basically recab it with a 46. That way when I go get classic cars, it looks a little.
Well, yeah, there's somebody on TV already does that.
Yeah. What we have here is a 1957 Mercury Monterey. I bought the car about 6-7 years ago. That may have been 10 years ago, with the intentions of doing something with it. It was out back behind the shop, and a tree fell on it. Dented the hood, dented the top.
Yeah.
Dented the fender over there, cracked the lights on it, and this was a perfectly great running car. In fact, it has the original engine in it, and it used to be what I called a yard driver, meaning that I used to turn around and drive it in my backyard because it ran well. It ran extremely well. Just didn't have brakes. I never got it out on the highway, and I had to put a gallon gas jug underneath the hood to drive it because the fuel tank needs to be replaced. But it runs and drives well. So it's for sale.
For anyone restoring a 57 Mercury, that's all the right stuff.
Everything. In fact, it'd be a waste not to just not restore one and get this one and bring it back, because a little body work with someone who knows what they're doing, or if you want to play with it, it's worth it. The fenders come off, they're solid metal. You can reform that. Someone who knows how to pop out the hood. All the chrome is there. This, like I said, it was a beautiful car. I have all the materials to make it complete with the upholstery material, the factory replacement carpet, both back and front, the two-tone blue and white, the upholstery material. The headliner has already been sewn in. It just needs to be strung and hung. That's it. 1940 Ford. For anyone who knows anything about cars or anything about Ford, this is one of the most iconic front ends that Ford ever made.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is a 41 four-door, all the materials in it. It's got a 9-inch Ford rear end in it, slightly narrowed, set up for disc brakes on the front. All of the replacement floor plans and jams are inside the vehicle.
So that's a street rod just waiting to happen.
Just waiting for someone to finish it.
No, that's a 40, so that would be the same nose you'd find on a 41 pickup, huh?
Similar, yeah.
Pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
Suicide doors.
Suicide doors on the back.
Yep.
And like I said, I've got the material for the floor pans to be reworked in the firewall.
I see.
All the stuff is there, just someone needs to finish it.
Right.
I bought it near Birmingham.
Wow.
Got it, brought it back. It's just been sitting here.
That sounds good though.
Yeah, it's a solid car. So we have here. I jokingly tell people that this is a Studebaker. When they call and ask me what it is, I said it's a 41 Studebaker because it's a 1941 Studebaker coupe on a Nissan truck chassis. I didn't do that. I wouldn't have done that. But it's got a supposedly, because I never started it up, running and driving 4-cylinder Nissan engine on it. My intentions were to take it, subframe it with a S10, drop it down, and put a small block Chevy in it. But too many projects.
Too many projects.
Over here, we have a 1954 Chevy pickup truck, short wheelbase. A business partner bought it a while back.
Of course, that era back there, they were all step sides.
Oh yeah, and it could be easily purchased and taken elsewhere. And we have a 1953. That's a 54. This is a 53.
Okay, here we are, back on the 56 Chevy convertible wreck. And John has that floor pan that we've been working on, and he's going to tell us about the trial fit. Well, go ahead, John.
Alright, thank you, Dennis. Alright, for all you 56 Chevy fans out there, what I have in front of me is a very big piece of metal. As you can see, it can fit and almost has the right contour for the car. So now, we're going to take this and we are going to test fit into the big gaping hole in our 1956 beautiful Chevy. Let Dennis get some close-ups in there. As you can obviously see, we can either go Flintstone style or try to fix it the right way. So let's see if we can fill this hole with some metal and love. Alright, as you can see at home there, we almost have a nice fit. Alright, Dennis, put the seat in there. Let's go for a ride. Alright, if it'd only be that simple. Now, if you guys at home, we have to line up very back bolt to mount with a brace right here. This hole is very critical because this is going to center our floor. Dennis, get a shot of that. It's rusted around, but what we have to do is drill holes through the metal, and then we're going to weld it so solid and then seam seal underneath. So it'll take the integrity and make it twice as strong, hence it won't rot out again. So what we do is that hole here, we're going to line up to this hole here. It's very, very, very crucial that one hole lines up. It's my starting point to start this floor. As any project, you need a base to start. If you stop and try to make it line up by 2 points, what you're going to end up doing is making yourself a very big mess. As you can see, the top of that bolt is right there, right in the top. The good thing about this is after we are going to trim the hole, we're going to take the nut and bolt out, and then nut and bolt the new mount when we get them back through the metal to hold it into place. But now, as you can see, we have a little open hole here. We still have our quarter to address, which isn't a big deal. We're going to take care of that later in the show. But as of now, we'll get a close as we can. And obviously, nothing's going to fit perfect. But we want this gap here on the inner fender well to be nice and tight. So as you see, I pull it tight, it pulls away from my hole a little, which is okay because my starting point is still in the vicinity. Don't have to be perfect. This metal didn't come in the car from 1956, but we do want it close so we don't have a lot more issues in the future. So let me do a little pushing and tweaking over here. This metal bends very, very easily. So you want to be careful on how you're doing it. And in this part, you wouldn't use no clamps. You just want it snug to fit the best you can. So you see our corner's a little high here. So what I'm going to do is get a creeper. I'm going to lay down and push the metal back up the contour to our rocker panel. Might not have to, I think it went into place. Alright, now always remember, once you get this somewhat lined up, you want to take the door, you want to still make sure that the door shuts nice and doesn't rub the bottom. We still have to adjust it, it's still got a little play. As you can see, I picked the door up a little bit. You don't want to hear no metal hitting, and you still want to check your lines. The lines all feel good. What this achieves is the bottom of the door, when you put your nice fresh paint on there, it's going to peel all the paint off. It's going to hit the sill plate. You don't want that to happen. But I picked the door up. And mind you, we got it close. We got real nice body lines. But we have a piece of chrome trim that goes along the edge. So we can fit that a little bit later in the show. So I'm pretty happy with how it sits right now. Now what I'm going to do is take some self-tapping screws. I'm going to center the floor, I'm going to drill some holes. Hence drilling the holes, I can tack weld where the holes go. And you want to do a weld, which we'll show you, about every inch and a half, you want to put a weld. You want to start at one end, and go to the next end, and then weld the backside. You don't ever want to go in a circle. If you go in a circle, what's going to happen, the metal is going to heat and it's going to twist. Then you're going to be in a very big mess because you got to grind all them nice pretty welds off and go again. So we'll take a short break, and then I'm going to come back and start showing you how to screw it together.
See, what I want to do, you know what I want it for?
Uh-huh.
I want to cut it. Okay?
Okay.
I want to cut it. I want to use, like, here, I hold this cap.
Okay.
Connected to the other cap. I got it back there to make a 4-door.
The other one's in the back?
The other one's in Cuba.
Ah! Okay. That would be neat.
Yeah.
If you're going to do that, I have another one that's a little bit cheaper.
Really?
Yeah. But it's on a...
It's a third window?
Yeah, 5 window. Yeah,
I mean 5 window, yeah.
It's a 5 window.
Well, I say third, it's a third on the back.
It's a third on the back. Yeah, it's a 5 window. It's a 49. It's already subframed on a Camaro, front end, rear end, drivetrain ready. It's already...
Well, like I said, all I just want is the cap. You know,
Right.
You can keep the...
Right, I don't want all that, but the price, I mean, you got to buy it for whatever it is, and it's $1,800 versus
It is.
$25. We'll go back here and look at it. But it will give you the same purpose. And I have
How the doors look like.
about the same, but whichever one you want, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I see what you're talking about. That would be really neat. That would be really neat. If you would go back over that corner over there, you'll see it. As soon as you turn that, yeah, you'll see it. It's a 5 window.
Go this way, man.
Yes, sir. Either way, once you can go either way, but you'll see it. All right. Well, we have here's a 1940 Chevy sedan, Special Deluxe. I used to call them Master Deluxe. It's a solid car. It can be bought. The intention here again was to subframe solid. The doors don't creak. Solid car. Came from Denver. I went all the way out to Denver and got 2 of them. But too many projects. Too many projects. My intentions were to actually take it and make a 4-door truck out of it.
Oh.
To cut back, square that door off when I take the fenders off,
Right.
square it back up, and extend a truck out of it and make a 4-door truck. Take an S10
Right.
bed, or if I had a bed like one of these off of that, extend it back, come down. You do a little sheet metal work, reform this frame, the body. You square this door off, and you take a bed like that, or a step side, mid-90s S10 bed, put it on the chassis, neat car.
You know, there's a guy that sells a kit to put any of these 46 to 54 era Chevy GMC pickups on S10 chassis.
Yep, for about $1,000.
The whole kit, mount it right to it.
Yep.
And that way there you can have a much modern drivetrain and everything fits.
That's the only way I would want to keep one of these.
Right.
I can't deal with the loosey suspension, the hard to get parts.
Right.
Yeah, the thing that I find and that I'm an advocate for is modernization of any vehicle if possible. Puritans hate it when you say you're going to do certain things, but unless it is something that is unique along the Duesenberg, the Pierce Arrow, certain cars should not be bastardized, and that's what I call it.
Right.
If I take, I'll take a 46 Ford and put it on a regular Chevrolet chassis, put a Chevrolet 350 or a small block or an LS in it, and I call it bastardizing it because you're crossing it up. Certain cars I don't think that should happen to, but it has to be of a certain caliber car, such as the Duesenbergs, the Auburns, the Pierce Arrows, the cars that are rare and hard to find. But your average everyday Chevrolet, Oldsmobile, Buick, I'm not that skittish, and I'm an advocate for actually making those modern drivers. And I don't think you should have a car that you're afraid to drive. I don't believe in having a car that belongs in a museum because I don't own a museum. For instance, my Auburn, drive it all the time. I go up, I pull up at a store or I'm somewhere, kids come out, I let them get in and I let them take pictures. And that's all a part of it, the enjoyment of owning a car. And I see people that have those signs on their cars that say do not touch and all this other nonsense about ownership. I don't want you climbing over it, I don't want you getting your foot in the seats, but I think if you own a car like that, and if you get that much pleasure out of it, letting someone else sit in it, letting someone else take pictures with it, that's all, to me, that's all a part of the ownership. That's all a part of the glory of it, you know. So whenever I got my Auburn out, no matter where I am, it's either the car show, a wedding, graduation, I let anyone take pictures. I had my Auburn down at the Bass Pro Shop. People would come up and stand around it and I'd open the door, get in, and take pictures. But again, I like the ability to appreciate it. I call it art on wheels. You know, I'm a bit of an artist in a sense, and most people that probably fool with old cars have some artistic appreciations or talents in them.
Now what's with the 62 Bel Air we were just showing?
That's the 62 Bel Air. It's definitely for sale. We had it posted up for $3,500 at one time. The owner now would probably take $2,700 in it. It runs, it drives, and I think the only thing you'd have to worry about, since it's been sitting for a couple of years, is to do the brakes. But it's a daily driver, short of making sure that it'll stop. And I always tell people the most important part of a vehicle is its brakes. People come in here and they'll say, you know, they've got antique cars, and I'll advise them that when they do a engine upgrade, if they're taking a straight 6, a 235 or a 250 out of a pickup truck, and putting in a 350 with automatic transmission, you get more horsepower. So I always advise them, before you touch trying to make that vehicle run, let's budget for braking, because a car that won't start will not get you into trouble. One that won't stop will, including costing you and someone else. The most important part of your vehicle is its braking system, because when it fails, life can change.
Say you like old trucks, if you've been looking for one and you've had no luck, well, come along with us, a trip down memory lane, on a walkabout. You'll be glad that you came.